Inspiration FM.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Hi, my name is Ibukun Oyedeji, President CFA Society Nigeria. Join me and a host of other financial industry practitioners every Monday at 4:30 p.m. right here on Inspiration 92.3 FM for Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria.
Money Talks, airing on this station every Monday at 4:30 p.m. from January 2023. Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
If you've made a decision to aim for a long-term and successful finance career, taking the Chartered Financial Analyst CFA exam and studying the curriculum is an excellent way to ensure you have a strong knowledge base and top-notch skills. Are you ready to take the bold step to invest in yourself? CFA Society Nigeria is at your disposal, promoting the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria. As an affiliate of CFA Institute, CFA Society Nigeria seeks to promote the highest standards of investment practice in Nigeria and to provide a vibrant community in which its members and other key players in the investment industry can interact and grow. When you have the CFA charter, you're globally recognized. Take advantage today by writing the CFA exam and joining us at CFA Society Nigeria. For more information, visit us at cfasocietynG.org. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money. It feels so good to be back. Welcome, everyone. It is Money Talks right here on 92.3 Inspiration FM. Smart Uzechi is my name. And my guest from last week is back. One good turn, they say, deserves another. So we're coming back to the studio, Chuka Maduabum, CFA. Chuka, good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you, Captain Smith. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much. In case you missed the profile or you didn't listen last week, Chuka Maduabum, CFA, is a senior investment professional at Uhuru Investment Partners, a private equity firm that is focused on investing in businesses across West Africa. Chuka is a seasoned investment professional, having worked at best-in-class private equity firms such as Afri Invest Capital Partners and Kaizen Venture Partners. He led mergers and acquisitions and financial advisory transactions at PricewaterhouseCoopers. He has a master's degree with distinction in financial analysis and fund management from the University of Exeter in the United Kingdom and a bachelor's degree in accounting from the University of Lagos, Nigeria. Chuka is a CFA charter holder and a chartered accountant. He is the Vice President and Vice Chair of the Board of Governors of the CFA Society Nigeria. He also sits on the board of some reputable companies in the financial services and consumer-facing sectors. And today, Chuka and I will be talking on the topic, how to set up sustainable businesses, and we're doing the second part. So this is how to set up sustainable businesses, part 2, that I'll be talking about on the program this evening. Stay with us. We'll be right back after this to get into the conversation.
We are professionals. We are impact driven. We are CFA Society Nigeria, a member society of the CFA Institute Global Network of Societies. Our mission is to promote the highest standard of practice in the Nigerian financial services industry and provide a vibrant community for our members. The CFA Charter signals the holder's commitment to professional excellence. As thought leaders, we collaborate with stakeholders to ensure adherence to ethical standards, better education for professionals, and to build market integrity. We are the leading voice for advocacy in the finance and investment industry in Nigeria. To partner with us or become our member, visit us at cfasocietyn.org for more details. CFA Society Nigeria, making finance a force for good.
Money talks. Money talks.
Money Talks. Money Talks.
Money Talks with CFA Society Nigeria. Let's talk about money.
Welcome back to Money Talks here on 92.3 Inspiration FM. Chuka Maduabum is my guest on the program this evening, and today we are looking at the second part of what we started last week, how to set up sustainable businesses. Part 2 is what we're talking about here. Don't forget, you can follow us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, in fact on all social media platforms at CFA Society Nigeria. That's the website, www.cfasocietyn.org. You can reach us there. That's the website. Or go to Instagram and Twitter at CFA Society NG, at CFA Society NG. On Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube, CFA Society Nigeria. That is how to reach us. So, Chuka, it's good to have you back.
Yeah, thank you, Captain Smith.
So from last week, Chuka, we had this discussion, and I've been asked questions about how one can just take a mommy and a daddy business to the next level. You know, those kind of businesses they train people with, how to take it to the next level. We were talking about scalability in the business last week. So in your view, Chuka, can you tell us the fundamentals of creating or making such businesses sustainable?
Yeah, sure, definitely. And taking a cue from the discussion yesterday, I know we talked about how to get such business to the next level. And the reality is that the sustainability and taking a business to the next level are two different things. So sustainability of a business is just like building the foundation of a house or a 5-story building, right? You want to have a very solid foundation, and thereafter you can build the first floor, second floor, third floor, up to the 5th floor. If the foundation is faulty, then the house collapses. And I will give a very good example. So I ran a supermarket chain of 9 locations, and when I got involved, we had 2 locations, and we expanded really fast to 9. And the operational challenges we had when it was 2 locations got multiplied to the 9 locations because we didn't have a very strong grasp on the fundamentals. So coming to the fundamentals now, once you build a solid business, then you can think of scaling. Otherwise, don't bother. It's going to end in tears. In terms of fundamentals, there are 7 critical things that you want to consider. One is a very strong team. So management team, employees, whichever way you want to call it, people that support you. The second is having a very strong product. And what I mean by product is product or services that appeal to your customers and maintaining good relationship with them. The third, which is very critical as well, is having a vision, a short-term plan, a long-term plan. That helps you in terms of where you're getting to. The fourth is, I like to call it like the number 10 in football. It is basically controls, monitoring and controls. That ensures that your business doesn't falter. That helps you to close any leakages within the business. The fifth is, understanding your numbers. So basically financial discipline. Understanding cash flow is very critical. If you run out of cash, you're dead. Then the next is, once you're able to achieve this, then you can now think of diversifying. And it's important to diversify because, well, those of you in business will know that everything doesn't go smoothly. Sometimes there are challenges, and when you've diversified, it helps you to absorb the shocks. And finally is succession planning. So when you've created a sustainable business, you want the business to continue to outlive you. And what happens if your kids are not interested in continuing in the business?
Yeah.
So you want the business to continue to, you want your vision to continue even when you can no longer be involved in the business.
Okay, I hope that works, because the last point you made is what will continue to happen last week.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
your kids, they are janded people now. You know,
Yes.
they have gone to Yankee and back. You don't want to take them into Ladipo market. They don't want to go there. They don't want to go to Idumota market. They want something tush and all of that.
Tush, exactly. yes, exactly. Yeah.
So it's how to tush up that mama and papa business. That's the issue here.
Yes.
So Chuka, moving on from there, they say that people issues are one of the most critical issues in an organization. And then there's the other issue of financing. If you have small business people, people in the MSME sector, they will tell you money. But then there's also people issues. So these two monsters, I like to call them, combined, how do people in this kind of sector surmount those kind of challenges?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. So you have people issues everywhere, and if you can surmount it, that helps to build a fundamental business. The reality is that it's in your recruitment process. So one way you get good people is through referrals. So friends, family, or people that actually respect you, they'll most likely send good people that they've seen in action. They send them to you. Otherwise, you basically interview to the best of your ability. But the reality is that you don't have enough time to interact with the person that you're talking to until the person resumes. Then you get to see the person's capacity and the person's attitude. So the other thing is, it's very important to keep good people, right? And the mistake some people make is that, they take too long to reward good people, and they also take too long to get rid of bad people. So you want to be quick at getting rid of bad people, and you also want to reward good people very early. So as long as you're consistent in doing that, you'll be able to attract and retain very good people within your organization or, your business. Then with respect to financing, if you've worked on the very solid fundamentals, I gave 7 points. If you've consistently delivered on those points, it now becomes easy to sell. It becomes relatively easy to attract people to work with you. It also depends on your mindset as well. Many people think that financing is just about focusing on, family and friends and the banks. But the reality is, sometimes you need to partner with people so that you grow the pie. You want to grow from a small business to a big business, and you can easily do that by partnering with people. They get you to that level.
You mentioned referrals from family and friends. Let me ask you, Chuka, what's your opinion about employing family members into your business? Village people.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword, to be honest. It's good. Now the thing is, if you put defined processes, and what I mean by that is, if you identify the role that you want to recruit for, and you identify the KPIs, key performance indicators. So what are the targets? What would this person be doing? It helps take out emotion from the process of hiring anybody. So of course, it makes a lot of sense to hire a family member, because the family member will most likely be loyal to you, will more likely be loyal to you than an outsider. However, you want to be very dispassionate in doing it. If the person isn't performing, then you have to let the person go. But the advantage of a family member as well is, if he's not behaving, you have someone that you can talk to, the parents, the uncle, the auntie, whoever has referred the person to you.
But the problem there is that, just like they say in local parlance, nobody to give more key water, not to collect the cup. If the family member misbehaves, firing them becomes a problem, because you now start, if I fire this boy, the mother will not be happy with. Maybe they stop greeting you in the village or something. So it's a problem, really.
So there are other ways of compensating the family, right? If you let the person go because the person has misbehaved, it doesn't mean that you stop supporting the family or the village or the community. Business is business. Personal life is personal life.
Oh, absolutely. In case you just joined us now, this is Money Talks on 92.3 Inspiration FM. Smart Uzechi is my name. I'm with Chuka Maduabum, CFA, and we're discussing this evening how to set up sustainable businesses. This is the second part. Chuka was here last week, and this is our second part. To join the program, you can call us on the telephone 0817 313 6193. That's 0817-313-6193, or call the traditional number 0700-923-923-923. That's 0700-923-923-923. You can also send us messages on WhatsApp 0817-313-6193 if you have questions about your business, how to sustain a business you have started, or perhaps you want to start a new business, you want tips on how to be successful in doing that. You can join us in the program. So Chuka, last week a caller asked a question around these employees we're talking about now. Around theft. Theft is one thing that cripples medium and small scale businesses. How can this issue be addressed? Because you employ people, you're not going to be there 24 hours. Even when you have cameras, CCTV and all of that, they have a way of circumventing these technologies. So how do you deal with such things in businesses?
Yeah, that's an interesting one. And talking from experience, so some employees remain very creative. And I like to highlight that the truth is you have the good employees, very good ones, and you also have the ones that are up to mischief. And one way of actually ensuring that you have very strong controls, one way of addressing these issues is ensuring that you have very strong controls in the company and actually following the money. I like to use this example of saying follow the money. So if you've started a business with certain cash, right? With your, and we call that the equity that you're bringing into the business. Let's say you have a restaurant business and you, let's say, purchase a bag of rice. You want to follow the money, right? Now your money has been converted into rice. Okay, and we call that the raw material. Now that rice, that bag of rice, will be converted into plate of rice. I'm just using a very simple example, right? Now, assuming the bag of rice gets converted into 100 plates of rice, okay, the expectation is that the 100 plates of rice come back in form of money. Now, assuming a plate of rice is 1,000 naira, then it means that if your people have sold 100 plates, then you should get 100,000 naira in form of cash. Okay, so basically it means you're following the money. And if you have a very strong controls or records in place that shows what happens from one stage to the other, then it becomes easy for you to ask questions. And you want to do that on a daily basis, not every week, not every month, every day, because this is a cash intense business. The moment you leave space, people can do a lot of things. And the other thing is, bigger companies, they hire people called the internal auditors. But for a small business, you can do this monitoring yourself or with people that you actually trust. And I would like to give another example. I operated a chain of 20 restaurants. And when I got involved in the business, I saw some very experienced people that I wanted to promote. And they will get double salary. They're going to be assistant managers and managers. And guess what? Some of them turned down the promotion. And I fired them. Because what I realized is they were making more money from the system than the salary that I was giving them, the salary uplift I was giving them. And they knew that as managers and assistant managers, they would be under the spotlight. They wanted to remain in the dark so that they carry out, those nefarious activities.
They rejected promotion.
They rejected. Yeah, and I had to let them go. So, yeah.
Wow.
So, interesting dynamic.
0817-313-6193 is the number you can call to join the conversation here. You have a clarification to make or question to ask, or a contribution, you're welcome to do that. 0817-313-6193, or you can call 0700-923-923-923. That's 0700-923-923-923. You can also send us messages on WhatsApp to 0817-313-6193. You'll be welcome to do that as well. We have a call on the line. Hello, good evening to you.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to the program. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Choma.
Welcome.
Good evening to our dear guest.
Hello,
I
Chiba.
think I've forgotten his name.
Chuka.
Chuka. Good evening, Chuka.
Hello.
Okay, so I've been in business for some years now, and I have made a decision not to employ family and friends. In fact, anybody I know, I don't know whether it's a hasty decision, but that came out of experiences. And then also the fact that they say hire who you can easily fire when they don't do well or when there's something, not that village meeting will be set on your head and all that. Exactly.
Wow.
Then secondly, when you mention the keys to scaling up a business, the first one is your team. Human
Correct.
resources and management. How do you cope with that, or put that in line with this Japa syndrome? That you employ one person and the next month person has Japa. In fact, I had a staff that came in September, and December she left. So how do you do that? You spend time to train, you spend money to train, and the next thing they've left, and without recourse to established protocols for leaving. Tell you that's what I see with this generation. They want you to fulfill your own part of the bargain if you are the one firing. But if they are leaving,
You don't look back.
They don't look back. They don't even recourse to that exit protocol. So how do you do that? Number one is your team, and it's really because
Okay.
you can't do everything. You can't be everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay, Choma, thank you so much for calling. That sets the tone there. You too can join 0817-313-6193, or you can call 0700-923-923-923. You can send WhatsApp messages to 0817-313-6193. So people issues right there, Chuka.
Yeah, sure. So the first one is in terms of family members. She raised a valid point and actually hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
You want to hire people you can easily fire if they don't deliver.
Yeah.
So you want to understand the dynamic of whoever is coming in. If you know it's going to be difficult to let the person go, then you want to stay away from hiring the person. So I agree with her point. And her experience is valid. Now, talking about the Japa syndrome,
It's incurable.
Yeah, so it's a very serious matter. In fact, coincidentally, at the CFA Society, we organized a webinar where we talked about the Japa syndrome. It's actually a serious issue, and it's affected different organizations. And they've reacted to it in different ways. So we're still experimenting, trying to see what works. But I know what some organizations do is they hire, as people leave, they hire experienced people from other organizations.
Yeah.
So now what happens is, how packaged is your organization? What type of profile does it have? Do you have the type of profile that, you want people that will attract people to come and work with you? Now with COVID, there's also this requirement from many young people, which is they want to have the flexibility to work from home and also work from the office. So these are some of the things that kind of attract people. So in this era, it's making yourself the beautiful bride, so that different employees come to work with you.
Making yourself the beautiful bride, like Choma said, for this generation is the money. It's the money.
It's beyond the money, to be honest. So I'll give a good example. A friend of mine who left the organization we both working, she left because there was no future discussions for her. She sat down with her boss and said, where would I be in the next 3 years? And he couldn't tell her anything. And when she dropped her resignation, he said, oh, you know what, we had great plans for you. You're going to become a senior manager, you're going to become a director, but by then it was too late. And that is the point I meant earlier on when I said that good people, you reward them early, you reward them before they make any moves.
So Chuka, let's get back to that conversation. Meanwhile, the number to call 0817-313-6193. You can also call 0700-923-923. 923-923. So, Chuka, let's get back to that conversation. What can somebody do? Because I know there are many people call me on different programs to say this. My son is not interested in this business I'm doing, and this is family business. My father gave me this business. In fact, my grandfather gave this business to my father. So he's in the family. But my children are not interested at all. So what can one do if the children are not interested in taking over their business?
Yeah, so what I would say is it's not the end of the world, to be honest. If the kids are not interested, and you know, you've tried, you've persuaded, you've done different things, and it's a no, it's better to let them be than to let someone who is not keen run the business to the ground, and your vision disappears. So one way is, in fact, I think, one way is actually selling your business. And the question is, who can you sell it to? Especially if it's a small business, who will be interested in buying it? The reality is that your staff, your people are aspirational. Many of them want to be business owners someday. Now the question is, okay, if I want to sell the business to my staff, do they have the money to buy the business? Not necessarily. They don't necessarily have the money. However, it can be structured in a way. And what actually comes to mind is the staff can, work with family and friends to raise a certain portion of whatever is required to buy the business, while the balance can be paid over a period of time, let's say through the cash flows of the company. And in that situation, you don't relinquish control over the cash or the bank account until you get paid in full, so that there are no litigation issues. Wow.
I'm sure to be heartbreaking for a parent who really wants to pass on the business, to the next generation, and the people are not coming through. I think that's one of the casualties that you get from sending people overseas to study and all that. So you're ready to battle with that. You can get more information on this program if you go to the website www.cfasocietyng.org. You can get more information from there, or you can follow CFA Society on Instagram and Twitter at CFA Society NG. That's on Instagram and Twitter, or just go to Facebook, LinkedIn and YouTube at CFA Society Nigeria. CFA Society Nigeria. So Chuka, before you go, just in a minute, what will be your final words on this program for those who are trying to scale up their business out there?
Yeah, the final word is think big. Start small. Do what you're doing. Some weeks ago, we talked about compounding, the impact of compounding. Keep what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Have a solid foundation. Keep what you're doing. And think big. Just continue to think big and you'll get there.
Don't give up. Think big. And with inflation rising now, the way it is, so many businesses are shutting down. There are so many factors responsible for that. People like in Lagos, people will tell you about multiple taxation. Inflation is going up high and all of that. Any words for business people in that area, as in those who say, look, I'm not even getting anything. It's better for us to shut down. The cost of doing business continues to increase on a daily basis.
So what I typically like to think of in business is there are two things you want to be paranoid about. One is revenue drive, and second is cost cutting. There's a limit to which you can cut your cost, right? However, in terms of revenue drive, it's unlimited. So the question is, in inflationary times, you want to increase your price. Now the thing is, will customers come to you? That is where you need to be paranoid. What makes me stand out from the next person that does the same thing that I do? What can I do better? And among the 7 principles of setting up a sustainable business, one of the items I talked about was the product or the value proposition, which should be customer centric. If you can do that better, you'll be able to grow your business.
Absolutely. That's Chuka Maduabum, CFA, the second week on this program, and it's been quite educating. Chuka, thank you so much for your time.
Sure. Thank you, Captain Smart, and thanks, everyone.
It's been wonderful having you. You can join us again next Monday at 4:30 p.m. for a fresh package of CFA Society Nigeria's Money Talks. Till then, keep scaling up that business and never give up. Bye for now.